13 beloved actors from Time's Laverne and Shirley times are no longer with us, yet their stories still echo through Hollywood's golden memories. Behind the laughter and lighthearted charm of this hit sitcom lies a trail of heartbreaking farewells and untold struggles. Stay with us, because what you are about to hear are the tragic endings of stars who once made America laugh, but left us far too soon. Number 1. Penny Marshall. On December 17th in the year 2018, Penny Marshall passed away at her Hollywood Hills home. She was 75 years old, and her death was attributed to complications from diabetes and heart failure. For millions of Americans who grew up with the sitcom Laverne and Shirley, this loss felt deeply personal because she was not just an actress. She was a household presence who brought laughter into living rooms for nearly a decade. Born in the Bronx in 1943, Carol Penny Marshall grew up surrounded by show business. Her mother taught tap dance, and her father was a director of industrial films. The family atmosphere helped shape her sense of timing and performance, though few could have predicted that she would one day become one of the most recognizable faces on television. She began her career with small appearances on shows like The Odd Couple, but it was the role of Laverne DeFazio that defined her career. Alongside Cindy Williams as Shirley Feeney, Penny created a character who was tough, yet vulnerable, comical, yet real, and relatable to millions of women across America. Her work on the show, which ran from 1976 to 1983, made her a television icon. Viewers loved her quick wit, her exaggerated facial expressions, and the way she turned even the most ordinary moments into comedy gold. Beyond the screen, Penny Marshall became a trailblazer in Hollywood. She broke barriers when she turned to directing helming films such as Big in 1988, which became the first movie directed by a woman to gross over $100 million at the box office. Later, she directed A League of Their Own in 1992, another beloved film that showcased her ability to tell human stories with humor and heart. Despite her success, Penny Marshall struggled with health issues for years. She was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2009, but after treatment, she was declared cancer-free. Diabetes remained a persistent challenge, however, and in the final years of her life, complications from the disease weakened her body. By the time of her death, she had left behind not just a legacy of laughter, but also a groundbreaking career that paved the way for women in comedy and film. Her passing was mourned across the entertainment industry, with tributes pouring in from fellow actors, directors, and fans who recognized her as a true pioneer. Number 2. Cindy Williams. On January 25th in the year 2023, Cindy Williams passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 75. The announcement from her family revealed that she had faced a brief illness, but no further details were shared. For audiences who cherished her as Shirley Feeney on Laverne and Shirley, the news was both shocking and heartbreaking. She had been one half of a duo that brought warmth, comedy, and a unique chemistry that defined American television in the late 1970s. Cindy Williams was born in Van Nuys, California, in August of 1947. She discovered her love for performing early, studying theater at Los Angeles City College, before making her way into television commercials and small film roles. Her career took a pivotal turn when she was cast in George Lucas's American Graffiti in 1973. The film's success put her on Hollywood's radar, and only a few years later she landed the role that would make her a household name. As Shirley Feeney, she paired perfectly with Penny Marshall's Laverne DeFazio. Together, they portrayed two working-class women navigating life, love, and friendship in Milwaukee, before the show later shifted to Burbank. Their slapstick humor, heartfelt moments, and musical numbers turned the series into one of the highest-rated sitcoms of its time. Cindy Williams brought a gentler, more romantic counterpart to Laverne's tough personality, creating a balance that kept viewers tuning in for 8 seasons. Her career beyond the sitcom included guest appearances on various television shows, stage performances, and independent film projects. She also wrote and performed in her own one-woman show, giving fans an intimate look at her journey in Hollywood. While she never again reached the same heights of fame as during the Laverne and Shirley era, Cindy Williams continued to work steadily and to earn the admiration of fans who remembered her charm and sincerity on screen. In her later years, she lived a quieter life, spending time with her 2 children and occasionally appearing at fan conventions or interviews to share memories of her time in the spotlight. Her passing marked the end of an era for television history, closing the chapter on a beloved performer who helped define comedy for a generation. Tributes poured in from colleagues, friends, and countless fans who felt her presence in their own lives through her work. Cindy Williams will always be remembered as a bright, joyful figure in American pop culture. Do not forget to subscribe to stay with us as we continue uncovering the untold stories of Hollywood's most unforgettable stars. Number 3. Carrie Fisher. On December 27th in the year 2016, Carrie Fisher passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 60. She had suffered a massive cardiac arrest during a flight from London to Los Angeles only a few days earlier and never regained consciousness. The world mourned the sudden loss of a woman who was not only an actress, but also a writer, humorist, and outspoken voice on mental health. Born in Beverly Hills in October of 1956, Carrie Fisher was the daughter of Hollywood stars Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher. From childhood, she was surrounded by the glamour and turbulence of the entertainment industry. She studied acting in London before making her film debut in Shampoo in 1975. Just 2 years later, she was catapulted into global fame when she portrayed Princess Leia in Star Wars, a role that transformed her into a cultural icon. Her connection to Laverne and Shirley came through a memorable guest appearance in the episode titled The Playboy Show. She played a confident and glamorous young woman, a contrast to the down-to-earth personalities of Laverne and Shirley. While the appearance was brief, it demonstrated her ability to bring humor and sparkle to any role she touched. Fans of the sitcom still recall her cameo as one of the most delightful guest spots of the entire series. Outside of her acting career, Carrie Fisher became a best-selling author. Her semi-autobiographical novel Postcards from the Edge, published in 1987, earned critical acclaim and was later adapted into a film starring Meryl Streep. Fisher also built a reputation as one of Hollywood's best script doctors, rewriting and polishing dialogue for countless films throughout the 1990s. Her wit, intelligence, and brutally honest humor made her a unique force in an industry often marked by artifice. Carrie Fisher was also candid about her lifelong struggles with addiction and bipolar disorder. She spoke publicly about her challenges, breaking down stigmas and offering solidarity to others dealing with mental health issues. Her openness made her a beloved figure beyond her work on screen. The day after her passing, her mother Debbie Reynolds died of a stroke, intensifying the tragedy for fans and family alike. Carrie Fisher's funeral was attended by family, friends, and generations of admirers who grew up with her unforgettable performances. Her brief connection to Laverne and Shirley remains part of her diverse legacy, reminding audiences that she could shine brightly in any role she chose. Number 4. Adam West. On June 9th in the year 2017, Adam West passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 88. His family confirmed that the cause was leukemia. The news resonated across generations because Adam West was far more than a television star. He had become a symbol of a certain era of lighthearted heroism that carried him through decades of popular culture. Born in Walla Walla, Washington, in 1928, William West Anderson grew up with a fascination for performance and storytelling. After serving in the United States Army, he pursued acting and began building his career with roles in films and guest appearances on various television series during the 1950s and 60s. His break came when he was cast as Batman in the campy yet beloved series that ran from 1966 to 1968. The role typecast him, but it also ensured his immortality in pop culture. Adam West made a guest appearance on Laverne and Shirley in the episode titled The Gymnast. He played an Olympic athlete who brought both humor and charm to the story. His presence gave the episode an added layer of star power, and fans of the show recall his comedic timing and the way he leaned into the playful tone of the sitcom. For an actor best known for wearing a cape and cowl, this smaller role showed his ability to laugh at himself and delight audiences in new ways. After Batman, West struggled to find leading roles but remained a consistent figure on screen. He appeared in films, television specials, and voice acting projects, eventually embracing his identity as a cult figure. In his later career, he gained renewed fame as the voice of the eccentric Mayor West on the animated series Family Guy. Younger audiences discovered him through that role, while older viewers cherished the nostalgia of his earlier work. His death in 2017 was met with widespread tributes. The bat signal was projected onto Los Angeles City Hall in his honor, a fitting farewell to the man who embodied a generation's vision of a hero. Colleagues and fans alike remembered him not only for his most famous role, but also for his kindness, wit, and willingness to embrace his place in entertainment history. Adam West's contribution to Laverne and Shirley may have been brief, yet it is remembered as one of many colorful moments in a career that spanned more than 6 decades. Number 5. Pat Morita. On November 24th in the year 2005, Pat Morita passed away at his home in Las Vegas at the age of 73. His death was attributed to kidney failure. The loss was felt around the world because Pat Morita was not only a versatile actor, but also a cultural bridge who brought Asian American characters to mainstream audiences with warmth and dignity. Born in Ileton, California, in 1932, Noriyuki Pat Morita faced challenges from the beginning. As a child, he suffered from spinal tuberculosis and spent years in hospitals before he was able to walk. During World War II, he and his family were placed in internment camps, a painful experience that shaped his outlook on life. Despite these hardships, he developed a love for humor and performance, eventually working as a stand-up comedian before moving into acting. His early career included small television roles, but he began to attract attention with recurring appearances on shows such as Happy Days. His talent for combining comedy with a gentle humanity led to more opportunities, including guest spots on Laverne and Shirley. In his appearance, he played a character who added charm and comedic energy, fitting seamlessly into the playful tone of the series. His work on the show is remembered fondly by fans who admired his ability to shift between broad humor and quiet warmth. Pat Morita's defining role came in 1984 when he portrayed Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid. His performance earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, making him one of the few Asian American actors of his time to achieve such recognition. Mr. Miyagi became an enduring figure of wisdom, patience, and discipline, a character who resonated across cultures and generations. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, he continued to work in film and television, lending his voice to animated projects and appearing in both comedies and dramas. His career reflected his wide range as an entertainer, moving easily between lighthearted sitcoms and serious film roles. In his later years, Morita struggled with health issues, but remained a beloved presence at fan conventions and public appearances. His passing in 2005 was mourned deeply, with tributes celebrating not only his iconic role in The Karate Kid, but also his long career filled with humor, resilience, and pioneering representation. Pat Morita's brief but memorable time on Laverne and Shirley is part of a legacy that continues to inspire admiration and respect. Number 6. David Lander. On December 4th in the year 2020, David Lander passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 73. The cause of death was complications related to multiple sclerosis, a disease he had battled for nearly 4 decades. His departure was especially poignant for fans of Laverne and Shirley because he was best known as Andrew Squiggy Squigman, one half of the unforgettable duo Lenny and Squiggy. Born in Brooklyn, New York, in June of 1947, David Lander showed an interest in performing from an early age. He studied at Carnegie Mellon University alongside future collaborators Michael McKean and others who would go on to shape American comedy. With McKean, he created the characters Lenny and Squiggy, quirky neighbors whose awkward entrances and bizarre antics became a trademark of Laverne and Shirley. The series premiered in 1976, and Lander's Squiggy quickly became a fan favorite. With his high-pitched voice, mischievous grin, and impeccable timing, he brought life to a character who could have been one note, but instead became iconic. The chemistry between Lenny and Squiggy added a chaotic yet lovable energy that elevated every episode in which they appeared. Beyond the sitcom, David Lander had a career that included voice acting, radio work, and occasional film roles. He lent his voice to animated series such as The Simpsons and SpongeBob SquarePants, proving his comedic talents translated across generations. He also worked as a baseball scout for the Anaheim Angels, combining his love of sports with his public profile. In 1984, Lander was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, but chose to keep it private for over a decade. When he revealed his illness in the 1990s, he became an advocate, raising awareness and offering encouragement to others facing the disease. His honesty about the challenges he endured brought him admiration not only from fans, but also from those who struggled with similar conditions. His death in 2020 brought a wave of tributes from colleagues and admirers who remembered him as a gifted comedian, a loyal friend, and a fighter who lived with courage. David Lander's work on Laverne and Shirley remains a cherished piece of television history, a reminder of how comedy can leave a lasting mark. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know which of his unforgettable moments made you laugh the most. Number 7. Pat Carroll. On July 30th in the year 2022, Pat Carroll passed away at her home in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, at the age of 95. The cause of death was pneumonia. Her passing closed the curtain on a career that spanned more than 7 decades and left behind a legacy of comedy, stage work, and voice performances that delighted audiences of all ages. Born in Shreveport, Louisiana in 1927, Patricia Ann Carroll moved with her family to Los Angeles when she was a child. She studied acting at Catholic University of America and quickly set her sights on a career in entertainment. By the early 1950s, she had established herself as a talented comedic actress, making appearances on variety shows and sketch programs that showcased her impeccable timing and larger-than-life presence. Pat Carroll's connection to Laverne and Shirley came when she played Lily Feeney, Shirley's mother. Her performance was memorable because she brought both warmth and humor to the role, often grounding the antics of the younger characters with her sharp delivery and commanding personality. Audiences embraced her as a natural fit for the sitcom's world, and her episodes remain a highlight for fans who revisit the series today. Her career, however, extended far beyond the sitcom stage. She became a familiar face on classic shows like The Danny Thomas Show and Make Room for Daddy, and she won an Emmy Award in 1956 for her work on Caesar's Hour. On Broadway, she earned acclaim for her one-woman show about Gertrude Stein, a role that demonstrated her depth as a dramatic performer, as well as her comedic talent. In later years, she became most widely recognized for voicing Ursula the Sea Witch in Disney's The Little Mermaid in 1989. That performance introduced her to a new generation of fans and remains one of the most iconic animated villain roles in film history. Her distinctive laugh and powerful singing voice made Ursula unforgettable, cementing Carroll's place in pop culture. By the time of her passing, Pat Carroll was remembered not only for her voice and her characters, but also for her generosity of spirit and her dedication to the craft of acting. Her appearances on Laverne and Shirley represent just one chapter in a long and varied career, a testament to her ability to captivate audiences, whether on stage, on screen, or behind a microphone. Number 8. Howard Hesseman. On January 29th in the year 2022, Howard Hesseman passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 81. The cause of death was complications following colon surgery. His passing marked the end of a career defined by sharp wit, improvisational talent, and a unique ability to portray characters who challenged convention. Born in Lebanon, Oregon in 1940, Howard Hesseman studied at the University of Oregon before moving into the world of performance. He became a founding member of the improvisational comedy troupe The Committee in San Francisco during the 1960s, a group that gave him the freedom to experiment with humor and timing. This background shaped the rest of his career, allowing him to bring an unscripted, authentic energy to every role. On Laverne and Shirley, Hesseman appeared in a guest role that showcased his quirky comedic persona. His presence gave the sitcom an added layer of unpredictability, and his performance resonated with viewers who recognized the spark of originality he brought to the screen. While his appearance was brief, it added to the long list of memorable guest stars who contributed to the charm of the show. His most celebrated role came with WKRP in Cincinnati, where he played Dr. Johnny Fever, a laid-back and rebellious disc jockey. The show ran from 1978 to 1982, and Hesseman's character became a cultural icon, representing the countercultural spirit of the era. His portrayal earned him 2 Emmy Award nominations and cemented his place as one of television's most distinctive comedic actors. Hesseman also enjoyed success on the big screen, appearing in films such as This Is Spinal Tap in 1984 and About Schmidt in 2002. He often portrayed characters who embodied free-thinking, nonconformist ideals, reflecting both his personal outlook and the improvisational style that defined his craft. Throughout his career, he was admired not only as an actor, but also as a mentor and teacher. He guided young comedians and actors, encouraging them to explore their own creativity without fear of failure. His influence extended far beyond his on-screen work, shaping the next generation of performers. When he died in 2022, tributes came from colleagues, students, and fans, who celebrated his fearless approach to comedy. His guest role on Laverne and Shirley remains part of a wide and varied career that proved comedy could be both entertaining and thought-provoking. Number 9. Richard Mall. On October 26th in the year 2023, Richard Mall passed away peacefully at his home in Big Bear Lake, California, at the age of 80. His death was confirmed by his family, though no specific cause was publicly revealed. The news saddened fans, who remembered him for his towering frame, deep voice, and ability to turn even the most eccentric characters into beloved figures. Born in Pasadena, California in January of 1943, Charles Richard Mall stood 6 feet 8 inches tall, a feature that would define much of his career. After graduating from the University of California, Berkeley, he pursued acting, starting with smaller roles in television and film during the 1970s. His unique appearance and comic timing soon made him a natural choice for both dramatic and humorous parts. On Laverne and Shirley, Mole appeared in a guest role that made use of his imposing stature while also highlighting his gift for physical comedy. He brought an energy that contrasted with the regular cast, leaving audiences amused by his mixture of gentleness and strength. Though his appearance on the sitcom was short, it remains a small but memorable addition to his long list of television credits. His breakthrough came in 1984 when he was cast as Aristotle Nostradamus Bull Shannon on the sitcom Night Court. For nearly a decade, Mall entertained audiences as the lovable bailiff whose intimidating size hid a warm and quirky personality. The role earned him widespread recognition and made him a staple of American television during the 1980s and early 1990s. In addition to Night Court, Mall built a diverse career that included voice acting. He lent his deep, resonant tones to animated shows such as Batman, the animated series where he voiced the villain Two-Face, and later appeared in Justice League and Spider-Man projects. These performances brought him a new generation of fans who admired his distinctive presence even when he was not on screen. His film work included appearances in House, The Flintstones, and Scary Movie 2, showcasing his range from horror to comedy. Throughout his career, he embraced the unusual roles others might avoid, turning them into characters that audiences remembered fondly. When Richard Mall died in 2023, colleagues and fans reflected on his kindness, professionalism, and humor. His brief role on Laverne and Shirley is remembered as part of a career that spanned decades and left an indelible mark on both television and film. Number 10. Betty Garrett. On February 12th in the year 2011, Betty Garrett passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 91. The cause of death was an aortic aneurysm. Her passing ended the life of a woman who had been a star of stage, screen, and television for more than 60 years, and who left behind a body of work that continues to be celebrated by fans of classic entertainment. Born in St. Joseph, Missouri in 1919, Betty Garrett moved with her family to California when she was still a child. She studied at the neighborhood playhouse in New York City and soon became a part of the progressive group theater movement. During the 1940s, she appeared in Broadway productions and was discovered by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, who brought her to Hollywood. Her early career included a string of successful musicals. She danced and sang alongside some of the greatest talents of her generation, including Frank Sinatra in On the Town and My Sister Eileen. She became known for her lively comedic energy and her ability to light up the screen with both charm and humor. However, her career faced obstacles in the 1950s when her husband, actor Larry Parks, was caught up in the Hollywood blacklist era. Work became difficult to find, yet she persevered and returned to prominence in later decades. On Laverne and Shirley, Betty Garrett played Edna Babish, the landlady of Laverne's apartment building who later became Frank DeFazio's love interest. Her role was a steady presence across many seasons, grounding the series with her wit, warmth, and a motherly affection that balanced the chaos of the younger characters. Audiences loved her portrayal, and she became an integral part of the sitcom's ensemble. Beyond the sitcom, Garrett enjoyed a successful career in television, appearing on shows such as All in the Family and Archie Bunker's Place. She also returned to the stage frequently, proving her versatility as both a singer and actress. In her later years, she taught and mentored younger performers, continuing to influence the world of theater and television. Her death in 2011 brought tributes from across the entertainment industry. Fans remembered her as a survivor of Hollywood's most difficult era, a woman of resilience and talent who never lost her spark. Betty Garrett's legacy on Laverne and Shirley stands as a testament to her enduring appeal and her remarkable contribution to American entertainment. Number 11. Scatman Crothers. On November 22nd, in the year 1986, Scatman Crothers passed away in Van Nuys, California, at the age of 76. The cause of death was lung cancer. His death marked the end of a career that had spanned music, film, and television, and his distinct voice and vibrant personality left a lasting mark on American culture. Born Benjamin Sherman Crothers in Terre Haute, Indiana, in 1910, he earned the nickname Scatman early in his career because of his skill as a scat singer. He began as a musician, performing in clubs and on the radio before moving into film and television. His warm voice and joyful energy made him a natural entertainer, and he built a reputation as a performer who could do it all, from singing and dancing to acting and comedy. During the 1970s, he appeared in numerous popular films, including portraying Dick Halloran in Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of The Shining in 1980. His ability to bring depth and humanity to the character of the hotel cook left an unforgettable impression on audiences. He also appeared in films such as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The Aristocats, where his talents as both actor and musician shone. On Laverne and Shirley, Crothers made a guest appearance that highlighted his natural charisma and musical background. His presence added a unique spark to the series, giving viewers a chance to see his playful humor in a lighthearted setting. Though it was a short role, it showed how effortlessly he could step into any project and make it memorable. Crothers was also a prolific voice actor. He voiced the character Hong Kong Phooey in the animated series of the same name and lent his distinctive tones to cartoons such as Transformers, where he played jazz. His voice became instantly recognizable to children and adults alike, cementing his status as a beloved figure in American animation. By the time of his death, Crothers had built a career that reflected his versatility and creativity. He left behind an extraordinary body of work across different mediums, and his legacy lives on through the films, shows, and recordings that continue to entertain audiences. His brief role on Laverne and Shirley remains a reminder of the joyful presence he brought to every performance. Number 12. Eddie Mecca. On November 27th in the year 2021, Eddie Mecca passed away at his home in Newhall, California, at the age of 69. The cause of death was not publicly disclosed, but his departure saddened countless fans who remembered him as the energetic and lovable Carmine Ragusa from Laverne and Shirley. Born Edward Rudolph Mekion in Worcester, Massachusetts, in 1952, he grew up in a close-knit Armenian-American family. From a young age, he showed a passion for performing, especially singing and dancing. After studying theater, he began his career on stage, where his lively spirit and musical talents earned him notice. He eventually moved to New York City and landed a role in the Broadway production of The Lieutenant in 1975, which brought him a Tony Award nomination and set the stage for his move to Hollywood. In 1976, Mecca joined the cast of Laverne and Shirley as Carmine Ragusa, a role that would define his career. Nicknamed the Big Ragu, Carmine was Shirley's on-again, off-again boyfriend and a dreamer who longed for a career in show business. His singing, dancing, and constant optimism brought comic relief and heartfelt moments to the series. Fans adored his performances, particularly the times when he would break into song or dance, showcasing Mecca's natural stage presence. Beyond the sitcom, Eddie Mecca worked steadily in television, film, and theater. He appeared in guest roles on popular shows such as The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, and Family Matters. On the big screen, he took supporting roles in movies like Dreamgirls and A League of Their Own, directed by his Laverne and Shirley co-star Penny Marshall. He also remained active in regional theater productions across the United States, never losing his love for live performance. In his later years, he became a regular at fan conventions and nostalgic television events, where he was warmly welcomed by audiences who still cherished the characters from Laverne and Shirley. His friendly personality and gratitude for his career made him a beloved figure among fans and colleagues alike. When Eddie Mecca died in 2021, tributes poured in from co-stars and friends who remembered him as a generous performer full of life and laughter. His role as Carmine Ragusa continues to be remembered as one of the most endearing parts of the sitcom, capturing the spirit of joy and resilience that defined both the show and his career. Number 13. Phil Foster. On July 8th in the year 1985, Phil Foster passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 72. The cause of death was a heart attack. His loss marked the end of a long career in entertainment, where he had gained fame as both a stand-up comedian and an actor, remembered most fondly for his role on Laverne and Shirley. Born in Brooklyn, New York in 1913, Phil Foster grew up in a working-class neighborhood and began performing at an early age. His sharp humor and ability to capture the everyday struggles of ordinary people made him a standout on the comedy circuit. He worked in clubs across New York during the 1930s and 40s, building a reputation as a comic who could connect with audiences through relatable stories and quick timing. His film career began in the 1950s with appearances in movies such as Conquest of Space, but his most recognizable role came 2 decades later when he joined the cast of Laverne and Shirley. Foster played Frank DeFazio, Laverne's father, a tough but loving character who ran the local pizza shop. His performance brought heart and authenticity to the show, balancing comedy with warmth and grounding the series in family values. Foster's natural chemistry with Penny Marshall added to the sitcom's appeal, creating moments that resonated deeply with viewers. Frank DeFazio's protective love for his daughter and his humorous exasperation with her antics became a central thread of the show's charm. Fans looked to him as both comic relief and a source of genuine affection. Outside of Laverne and Shirley, Foster continued to work in television and stand-up. He appeared on variety shows, talk shows, and continued performing live, always staying true to his roots as a storyteller of everyday life. His style influenced younger comedians who admired his ability to make humor from simple truths. By the time of his death, Phil Foster had left behind a career that spanned more than 5 decades. His role as Frank DeFazio ensured his place in television history, and he is still remembered with fondness by fans who grew up watching him on screen. Thank you for watching and remembering these beloved stars with us. And do not forget to subscribe so you will not miss the next story we share. Goodbye, and see you again soon.